shit. I mean, I know it's a family show, but why does it have to be so effing difficult all the time? I don't do anything to go back to the 1700s. All I had to worry about was my fucking horse. You are listening to the Bleacher Brothers Show. Not on the Total Bullshit Sports Network. No. We left there, but we brought, obviously, the BS with us here. We couldn't even get on tonight. We are on 102.9 The Game and Riptide Media Network and broadcasting on all the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network socials and everywhere where you can get video and see us and experience this. So you just getting in from your long day at the office or out doing whatever it is that you do, and you're like, ugh, I had a horrible day. Let me put these doofuses on. Maybe they'll make me laugh for a couple minutes. And then you see our BS is just starting today. But anyway, we got a jam-packed show, man. There's just a lot going on, and we got a guest. We have a theme this week. Our theme is NFL Draft because the NFL Draft is this week. So we have a theme. Hey, Steven, you want to make some banners, man, with the phone number and crap on them? All right, a commercial break one and all that jazz. So what we're attempting to do this week for the NFL Draft is not go through the top 100 and who's going to trade up and who's going to get this guy and where's this guy going to fall. We're going to try to paint the picture of what it takes to get to this point where you are considered eligible for the NFL Draft. And we are going to start all the way back in the beginning, literally. So we got a bunch of guests lined up this week. Hopefully they all come through. But tonight we've got Gerald White. You've seen him on before. He does a show on our channels every Wednesday at noon. It's a great show, White Noise with Gerald White. He's coming on tonight to talk to us about what it took for him to get to this point when he was at this point. The hard work, the determination, the nerves, how it felt. So we're going to get into that with Gerald. I got the app guy. Don't know what that means. No. Okay. Anyway, we've got other guests lined up too throughout the week to tell their stories leading up to Thursday, where we have a player that is currently eligible for the NFL Draft, and we're going to find out what this week has been like for him. Leading up to the big day, and nerves and determination, and what he knows so far, and what teams have reached out to him and who's contacted him. So, Steven, we got everything back in order here, Steven? Yes? Okay, yeah. So we need to get to that right out of the gate here because this stuff should be starting. I don't know. Let me go back. Even my TV everything is malfunctioning right now. We got NBA action tonight. So where's our NBA music at? Guess we got to get rid of that for NBA. So, Steven, we're going to roll right into the Bleacher Bet segment here, okay, buddy? And just about every day on social media, usually it's on Instagram, either on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network Instagram or the Bleacher Bet. So if you're not following Bleacher Bet, go follow them. We just opened that IG account up. In the stories, we'll put out our picks. We did not put them out there today because we were saving them for the show. If you follow us, and I know people do follow us, and people are downloading the apps that we're giving out. Friends of ours, Caesars Palace, Bet365, FanDuel, Better. And we made some new friends today also. I'll make those announcements a little bit later on in the show. But people are reaching out and saying, hey, they're DMing us. Hey, I downloaded the app. I'm in Colorado. Who do you like? So there was a kid. I'm assuming he was a kid. He seemed like a young guy. Went on Saturday morning, early hit me up, said, hey, I downloaded the app last night, the Caesars app, and I want to do some NBA bets. What do you like? And I just shot him off who I liked. And I liked Cleveland. the Knicks. I like Denver. And, God, I don't even remember who the heck the other team was that day. Who was the other team? I don't remember. Oh, but Boston. And what happened? All four of them hit, and BleacherBET went 8 for 8 on Saturday. Not just in NBA, single games, parlays, but we hit a couple of MLBers. I think we hit an NHLer. So we were on fire yesterday. Yesterday was an okay day, but we were close. We just missed on a baseball one. I think it was a 6-legger. We missed by one. And then in an NHL parlay, the Rangers just did not score. The Rangers did not score enough goals for us. We needed one more goal or else it would have been a really good day. But we did hit on our NBAs that we played. The only one we missed on yesterday was OKC. That game was a little bit surprising. The other games we didn't touch other than the early game yesterday because we were just unsure. So anyway, here's what we got tonight, okay? So if we're unsure, we're not going to bet, or we're not going to tell you to bet just to bet because we do this to make money and we're looking at it as an investment. So here's what we like tonight. All right, Steven, you ready? You writing this down? All right, good. Steven's going to write this down, all right? NBA, Cleveland, minus the 5.5. Take it. New York Knicks, minus 5.5. Take it. Maxey may or may not be playing today. I haven't seen the absolute latest news. Steven, see if there's anything on Maxey that's broken the past few minutes. But Maxey missed the shoot around this morning. He's got some kind of illness, so he's out. Embiid is just, man, he's like one bad step away from being out until next season. So we like the Knicks, we like the Cavs, and then we like Denver. The Lakers are toast. The Lakers will be lucky to win a game this series, just like Philly will be lucky to win a game against the Knicks. As far as Orlando and Cleveland, I don't know, man. Both of these teams all season long have lost when they were supposed to win, and they've won when they were supposed to lose. So I don't know, but I like Cleveland tonight. So we're going singles on each. All right, we're doing Cleveland, we're doing the Knicks, we're doing Denver, and we're parlaying the three of them together. If you parlay the three of them together, about a half hour ago, you were getting a plus 596 on the three of those, all right? We're going to give you an NHL bonus play tonight. All right, there's a little three-bet parlay for you. Boston and Toronto, we're taking over 5.5 goals. New York Islanders and Carolina, we are taking under 5.5 goals. And then the Vegas Golden Knights against the Dallas Stars, we're going over 5.5 goals. So, Steven, you're writing that down, right? All right, what did I say? All right, we got to read his lips. And exactly. Yes, that's what we said on that one there. Yes. And then we have the heck else do we have? Oh, and we got a Major League Baseball. We got a bonus MLB pick for you tonight. All right. Here's another one. Look, I wouldn't go betting the house on these things. That NHLer is a plus 454. But in MLB, Milwaukee, take Milwaukee to win over Pittsburgh, money line. Take Baltimore over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Take the Atlanta Braves over the Florida Marlins. And then we like the under, and I don't know, game or two of these may have already started, but these were put in beforehand. So let me see if any of these have started yet. I don't think so. I think we're in the clear. And we like the under 8.5 on Philly Cincinnati tonight. So again, MLB, Milwaukee, Baltimore, Atlanta, all the win, money line. And then the under 8.5 runs in Philadelphia versus Cincinnati. NBA, we like Cleveland, we like New York, and we like Denver, all minus the points. I almost leaned a little bit on the under in the Denver LA game, but I didn't touch that. Just letting you know, we don't like to do that. We don't lean, we don't sprinkle, we don't wait until the action. None of that. We're giving you picks. These are our picks. We stand by them. A lot of days they win, sometimes they lose. Nobody can win every day. And NHL, over in the Vegas Golden Knights game, over in the Boston Bruins game, and then under in the Islanders Carolina game. Those are your Bleacher Bet picks of the night. And if you're just getting into this, you follow us. Hey, Maxi's got issues tonight. That's for sure. Maybe Maxie was out at Hershey Park earlier today, and now he's paying for it, and everybody's going to pay for it. But the hell was this? Oh, you're looking for a place. All right, you knew, hey, you know what? This looks like fun. I see you guys winning. I saw you guys put out all those winners the other day. How can I get involved? How can I be a part of this? Today's Bleacher Bet special promo of the day is with our friends, and where I got them here somewhere. Where are they? Let me find them. Our friends at BetMGM. And here's the special Bleacher Bet promo right now that's going on at BetMGM. Mother effer, this is going to be that night. I can tell you right now. Here it is right here. Bam. $1,000. Raw fucking thing. I told you this is going to be the night. Anyway, it's BetMGM. It's this. BetMGM is 1,500 though, isn't it? Fucking look it up. Somebody, God damn it. Tell your fucking kids not to tune in tonight, cocksuckers, okay? It's that kind of night. What is BetMGM? 1,500. 1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win with BetMGM tonight, all right? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get shit together here. We're going to take a quick break right now. We would take a quick break, except here's the only problem. There's no motherfucking commercials loaded. How do you like that? So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get it together. We'll be back right after this.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side. Please, don't ever let me be. I only wanna be by your side. Girl, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing, yeah. Oh yeah, you really got me now. Got me so I can sleep that night. You really got me. You really got me. You really got me.
All right, we're going to try to do this again. And already, it is time to go to the sports desk. Are you ready? We go to the sports desk for Lucre Live, and we're going to find out what is going on in the world of sports. Steven, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Are you pissed at Tom for screwing all this crap up tonight, or what?
I don't know what's going on, honestly. Something's going on.
You know Tom did it. All right, Steven.
All right.
What do we got? What do we got happening? What's coming up? And I know there was a final today. You know what? Why don't we do this real fast? Why don't we hit this final? The Yankees. All right, I don't know where you were going to start, but let's do this.
That's where I was going to start.
Is that what this clip is right here?
Yes, this is going to be the first inning with Aaron Boone getting ejected.
So the Yankees had an afternoon game today, and this happened in the first inning.
The 0-2. And that hit Ruiz. He did not swing, so a hit by pitch, and Astori Ruiz, who is the most dangerous base runner in baseball, is on.
See, Aaron Boone is confused. Did he swing? Did he not swing? Also, the reaction being hit by the pitch was a little bit delayed, so an interesting start to this one. Take another look at the
very slow developing clip
here.
here.
Clearly gets that right foot. The only question, a good look here, did he swing?
Look how clean that batter's box.
Oh, okay, Hunter.
Well, you know what? We're not going to need a John Boy breakdown of that one. We got a very clear. There you go. And now Aaron's saying, I didn't say anything. Aaron's saying, hold on a second. I didn't say a word. Hunter Wendelstedt with some aggressive rabbit ears. One batter into this game. The 0-2.
But that was the ejection, and you heard the whole mic'd up. They were mic'd up for that ejection.
They were mic'd up for it, weren't they?
Yeah. And according to Joe Q, he said the afternoon game was because of a Passover from what he found out.
Well, Aaron Boone passed right over 8.5 of those innings, didn't he?
Yeah. And then during the end of the game, Mason Miller had a 1-2-3 inning throwing gas to end the game with the A's winning 2-0.
All right, let's take a look at gas.
The noise and close it out here for the Oakland A's. 3 straight sliders here and an 0-2 count to Anthony Volpe.
Yeah.
And then that's it. 103 dotted. See you later.
I was going to say, if the folks here in the ballpark haven't seen it and the folks watching the Yankee broadcast haven't seen it, don't feel bad because Anthony Volpe still hasn't seen it either.
It's pretty fast,
The 1-2 to
103.
Soto. 103 later.
Doors blown. Batten down the hatches.
Wow. I wonder how John Sterling felt about that. 103 later.
103.3 with a spin rate of 2,578 RPMs on that last one.
Wow. Is this Judge?
There's the pitch
Yeah.
and there's the strikeout. 102 to get Aaron Judge.
Oh, see, he let up on Aaron Judge because Judge is so horrible this year. He couldn't hit the friggin' floor if he fell out of bed. Yeah, the Yankees are hitting the skids here lately a little bit.
Yep. And we have a couple games underway going on right now. The Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be underway soon.
Now, Steven, where are you getting these scores from right now? I mean,
I'm getting these scores on the Bleacher Brothers website. If you go on the top of your page, the scoreboard is right there, and it has NBA, MLB, NHL, college basketball, college football, and as soon to be other sports.
No, I don't know about other sports.
College sports are coming soon.
Yes, college
sports.
college sports are coming soon. So right now you can get live scores of NFL, NBA, MLB, and NHL, and in a freshly painted, released portion of the site today. Let's say Milwaukee, Pittsburgh. All right, it says top of the first, no outs, 0-0. But if you click on the Milwaukee, Pittsburgh right there on the box, boom.
You get over-under.
Yes, it takes you to the box score. If the game is, it gives you the preview, the matchup. You can do the play-by-play. So, I mean, there's like I kept saying, pretty soon we'll have what everybody else has got, and we're rolling it out as quickly as we can, a little bit at a time. But you know what they don't have, damn it, is I want to know the weather right now and the temperature in Pittsburgh, and I'm not seeing that. But it's at PNC Park. And Jared Jones is pitching, and South, who the heck is this? Frelick is, I guess, leading off for Pittsburgh here. So, and this is tough because these are two of my National League teams that I'm rooting for. The Brewers against the Pirates tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do, but everything's here, and odds are on here. So, you know, take a test drive, look around the site, and see what we've been up to and what we've put out there. Not for us. We put it out there for the sports fans. We put it out for you guys. So I guess we did put it out for us because we are for fans by fans.
Yep.
So anyway, what else, Steven?
Also, with that website thing, you will also, if you click on the player, you get information about the player, like key statistics and
historical stats, all that sort of jazz.
And our coming up games in the NBA, we have today, we got 3 NBA games coming up today in their playoff games, with the Orlando Magic and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Sixers and Knicks, and then the nightcap game for the NBA will be the Lakers and Nuggets. And in the NHL, we have some action coming up, and starting in Boston with the Maple Leafs and the Bruins, the Islanders and Carolina at 7:30 Eastern Time, Vegas and the Stars at 9:30. And the nightcap game is the Kings and Edmonton Oilers. And the sports quote of the day we have: nobody climbs mountains for scientific reasons. Science is used to raise money for the exceptions, but you really climb the H of it. Sir Emmett Hillary.
No idea. Okay.
And that is your sports update.
That is the quote of the day. All right, cool. Well, we appreciate that. You lost me on that quote, but you got more quotes lined up, or you got this day's histories lined up also for later on?
On this day in history and other quotes.
All right, cool. So, hey, something finally happened today to the New York Jets. Something positive.
Yeah.
Get some of these headlines out of the way. Zach Wilson who was going to be the next Joe Namath of the New York Football Jets. There, he got his walking papers here finally, huh? And where the heck? It's just typical. I can't. It's not here. What do you got, Steven? So you got this guy. Who is this guy right now that you want me to that you were telling me about? Oh, so Zach Wilson is going to replace Russell Wilson? That might not have been a Wilson upgrade, if you ask me. But let's see what this guy has to say.
Jerseys are awful. The fans literally told them what we wanted. At least the throwbacks are great. I think I can live. We traded for Zach Wilson? Oh, thank God. It's over. It's finally over. We got another Wilson. We just got rid of one. If I never hear from another BYU fan, it'd be a good life. We basically got him for free and I still hate it. We would have actually given you more just to take him. Oh, maybe this Wilson trade will work out better. Well, maybe he'll be better this year. I mean, last year he was coached by Nathaniel. We're screwed. We gonna draft an offensive lineman with that pick? The Broncos traded for Zach Wilson? Between this and the lightning bolt on their new jerseys, this is a great day. If I see this man start one game this year, I'm gonna lose it. No takebacks. I just want to make that very clear. I just want the ride to be over. Let it be over! Do you see now why I can't take this division seriously? That 2021 QB draft class sure is terrible. Yeah, imagine drafting a QB in the first round in 2021 and then trading them away. Yeah, imagine. No, I've never heard of Trey Lance before. Trevor Lawrence is going to be fine, right? I don't even know how the math works, but this gives us at least 3 more wins this year. We're still trading up for a QB, right? Right? Jared Stidham versus Zach Wilson for the Broncos starting job. No, it's really good. It's good. Mom, it's me. You're free. You can go outside again. Mom, do not go out tonight.
Wow. So who the hell is that guy, Steven? I had no idea the NFL gave away fan of the years. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second. I just want to tell you that what the Jets are getting back is a 203rd overall selection in the year. What year is it? This year? I don't know. They're getting back a 203rd overall selection, and they got to split the $5.5 million that they own with the Broncos. So, what do you got? Breaking news out of the NCAA. What does that mean? I don't have the slightest idea. So here's the good news. We got Gerald White coming on with us in a few minutes. Maybe he can explain to us what the hell that means. Because it all confuses me, and that did nothing to make it any clearer for me. But it's that kind of night. So all right, so we got breaking news that doesn't make sense. You got a trade that doesn't make sense. Makes sense to the Jets. It doesn't make sense to anyone else. Or that guy, fan of the year. And where'd you find him? On IG? Or you found him on YouTube? Where'd you find that guy? Yeah, he reminded me of Henry Markin, who's another guy. He's a great follow on Instagram or on TikTok. Henry Markin, guy who we know but way back from the old days at No Filter, does some really, really, really funny stuff. Steven, let's bang out. Do you have the Uncle Ernie clip? Because Uncle Ernie, do you have that, Steven? All right. So if you were watching, also eligible on Saturday, you know that Joe Q and myself handicapped Uncle Ernie's big race today at Parks. And here's what happened. Maybe. What's up, Steven? It's not doing anything. Oh, there's no sound on this sucker?
Off and racing in the Paige McKenney handicap on the outside. Meet Me at Mundy's broke on top. Going right up to join him. There goes Twisted Ride and Mo Visitor. Those two are up to contest the pace. In between horses, Liar, Side Chat, Uncle Ernie settling in on the rail. Then it's Eagle's Cry, followed by Baron. His stablemate, 90% Maddie. Veson to his inside, Young Squire. In the early trailer, Far Mo Power. It's a battle on
I don't like the way this looks so far. Ernie likes to go right to the front.
On the outside, Liar, Side Chat, Mo Visitor, those two forwardly placed. On the rail, Uncle Ernie, he's just about a half length off, leading Twisted Ride, the opening quarter, 22-4. Twisted Ride and Mo Visitor. Uncle Ernie in third.
Twisted Ride, that's what we're on tonight, is a twisted friggin' ride.
Horses along with Eagle's Cry. Then on the outside, moving up a bit, there's 90% Maddie. Young Squire to his outside. Meet Me at Mondays, beginning to move from off the pace, Far Mo Power. Then it's back to Veson, 46-2 for the half. The battle rages on the front end. Twisted Ride and Mo Visitor, those two are exchanging blows as they go through the far turn. A quarter mile left to go. On the inside, Twisted Ride. On the outside, Mo Visitor, 90% Maddie looms as they make their way around the turn. 90% Maddie has some momentum. Uncle Ernie looking for room, coming up the rail. 90% Maddie
Come
up
on,
to
Ernie, he's got nothing.
Meet Me at Mondays, making a big
There he
rally.
goes.
Far Mo Power charging down the center of the track. It is 90% Maddie, a tenuous lead. Here comes Far Mo Power, flying late from off the pace. Far Mo Power, big run to get the win in the Paige McKenney handicap.
He had room there in the stretch. I don't know if the rail was dead today or what the story was, or maybe he's just dead because he only ran, like 2 weeks ago. Maybe he needs more for rest. But so our unofficial racehorse of Bleacher Brothers, Uncle Ernie, came in fourth. It looked like today. Was it fourth, Joe? Yep. Uncle Ernie is the 4, and I believe that he came in fourth. So not the best day for Uncle Ernie either. I guess it's going around. It's going around. Also tonight, all right, we're going to take a look at we're going to get a special Looch on Ice tonight, a little bit after 8 o'clock, where Uncle Ernie came in third. All right, so at least he was in the money. So if you bet him win, place, or show, my guess is you probably got about $2.20 back on a $2 bet, maybe $2.40. So that's big bucks for you right there. We did not have Uncle Ernie in any of our BleacherBET guarantees today. But again, the BleacherBET guarantees, Cleveland -5.5, the Knicks -5, Denver -7. And then we gave out some NHL props and some MLB stuff too. But we got Looch on Ice coming up a little bit after 8 o'clock just to kind of run through the opening weekend of the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs. We got more headlines to hit here a little bit later on tonight. It was a big fight this weekend. We'll touch on that, but Nick the Flick is scheduled to come in tomorrow night. We can go through the fights. We're also going to talk to Nick as part of our draft week sort of story this week. As Nick was a former coach, and Nick was, a lot of guys' very first coach. Nick coaches the little guys, and it's kind of cool that Nick was with me at an FAU football game last fall. And one of the kids that he coached, I don't know, a decade ago, now plays for the Owls. So that was just kind of cool. And we'll let Nick tell us all about how it feels what he puts in. All coaches, they're just bred differently, I guess, is they seem to just dump their heart and soul. It doesn't matter what level of a coach we talk to, whether it's peewees, whether it's high school, whether it's the pros or college, they care. And that's really odd. It's odd that people care. Isn't that sick? I have to ask Gerald when he comes on if he thinks that's sick. I think that's sick. I'm at the point tonight almost of not caring at this point. So again, keep your kids away from the radio tonight or the Facebook screen or the Instagram or wherever the heck else you're watching us. Also later this week, Dron Morris, who is in this year's draft, is going to be joining us tomorrow night. There is a very high likelihood that a former NFL coach, I'm not going to put the name out there because if it doesn't happen, I don't want to jinx it. He'll be joining us. We got John Arbesnick joining us. I'm looking to get my buddy Len, who was on a few weeks ago, who coached high school football at the basically would be like the New England Patriots of New Jersey high school football. And we've got a lot of other people lined up for this week also. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got the host of White Noise. Great podcast. When it used to be a podcast. Now it's a great radio show. Hopefully, we'll get the whole thing out because we are just having nothing but technical issues. See what happens? Tony and Robin left. And because, let me make sure I say this correctly. Tony resigned. And I have I literally have the resignation letter now. But when they resigned, everything went sideways on us. So I guess we just did not realize how absolutely valuable Robin was. And maybe we took it for granted that she could Jimmy rig stuff together to get it to work when apparently Steven or Tom or I can't. But anyway, let's grab some spots right here. We'll go to this commercial break. When we come back, our friend, the host of White Noise, former NCAA and NFL player, Gerald White, we're going to talk to him about what it's like putting on the pads the very first time all the way up to draft day and beyond. So everybody sit tight. We'll be back, hopefully. And who knows what can go wrong? That's why you got to watch tonight, because at any point, this place could erupt in flames. You could watch me burn to death tonight. I mean, how do you want to miss that? Anyway, we'll be right back.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service.
I got this feeling on the summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched, I let it burn. I threw your stuff into a bag and pushed it down the stairs. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I got this feeling on the summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched, I let it burn. I threw your stuff into a bag and pushed it down the stairs. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. You're on a different road. I'm in the Milky Way. You want me down on Earth, but I am up in space. You're so damn hard to please. We gotta kill this switch. You're from the 70s, but I'm a 90s chick. I love it. That's right, it stinks. I love it. I got this feeling on the summer day when you were gone. I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched, I let it burn. I threw your stuff into a bag and pushed it down the stairs. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. You're on a different road. I'm in the Milky Way. You want me down on Earth, but I am up in space. You're so damn hard to please. We gotta kill this switch. From the 70s, but I'm a 90s chick. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I don't care. I love it.
In Pittsburgh, bottom of the first inning, my man Uncle Larry, Andrew McCutchen goes deep, first home run of the year. Pirates go up 1-0. Gerald, can I tell you something? Like the song said, tonight, I just don't effing care. You have no idea, bro. Is it Friday yet? Because it certainly feels like Friday. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys today?
We're doing
Outside
good,
of
man.
you, AJ.
It's all Steven and Tom's fault, man. Don't blame it on me. But no, actually, this wasn't Steven's fault or Tom's fault, actually. God, Tom's you see him? Tom's been holding that pose. You can see Tom, right? He's been holding that pose for like 40 minutes now. I don't know what's going on.
He's a champ.
He is. So, Gerald, when I first met you and I said, man, we do this streaming show and it's a podcast. And you said, no, man, I don't do streaming. I don't want to do that. I want to do some pre-recorded stuff. And I got this great idea for white noise. And you were right. It is an absolutely, I think it's going to be the best show on any of the networks that we're involved in. But now you're streaming. You're live on the radio. Congratulations, man. You're doing
Thank
it.
you so much. You did it for me. You pushed me over the edge, literally over the edge, outside of my comfort zone. But I'm glad that I'm here.
You know, motivation. Like we're doing all this talk this week about the draft and what takes to get to the leading up to it. And you talk to coaches all the time. You're motivation. Something that I learned, motivation is BS. It's manipulation. What I did is I manipulated you to do what you should have had the motivation to do for yourself. Agree, right? I mean, you know, it was a little mental thing. Let me get over it. Now you're doing it, and it's no big deal. So I think motivation is just it's a fancy way to say manipulation. You manipulate somebody to do what they're capable of doing and what they should be motivated to do themselves, but they're not. And point given, where I figured this out, I used to run this massive company with lots of salespeople. And I had a salesperson who in his very first year, in half a year, sold $970,000 worth of stuff. That was a lot of business. So his next year, he set his goal for $1 million. Now, he did the 970 in 6 months. So I knew that the $1 million was going to be easy for him. But I also knew that this guy was very goal-driven. So once he hit his $1 million, even if it was in May or June, he was going to pack it in for the year. He would have made a ton of money no matter when he hit the $1 million, but I knew that he was goal-driven. And this was right around Christmas time. He said, yeah, I'm going to go buy a new Audi. I think it was Infiniti. I want to go buy this new Infiniti. I said, no. Keep driving the piece of crap that you're driving for another year. If you do $1.5 million next year, the company will buy you the car. So you know what he did? He went out and did $1.5 million. Why? Because I manipulated him through motivation. So it was good for him. He made more money, and he got, at the time, like a $50,000 car for free. But the company made way more than the price of the car.
So you're good at stroking people's egos, is what you're saying.
It's really, I find it as manipulation. You have to just kind of convince someone, and you have to make it feel like it's their idea and make them feel good about it because they're capable. Now, I'm not saying manipulate. I'm not going to manipulate Steven to become a professional bodybuilder. That would be criminal if I did that. So you don't manipulate people to do things they can't do. Tom, I will give you $1 if you can hold that pose until tomorrow night at this time. All right, it's manipulation because he'll do anything for $1. I've seen him in the out on Hollywood Boulevard where I found him. But anyway, so buddy, tell us real quick before we talk NFL and draft and all that sort of jazz. What's coming up this week on White Noise?
Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have William Wilson, the Clothier. He's the first African-American NASCAR champion. Attended Arkansas University and designed some clothes, has his own clothing company. And he was the first African-American NASCAR champion. So he's going to be on board and talking about his career as a pit crew, team member at NASCAR, his clothing company, and currently what he's doing with his golf tour.
So like this dude, I bet you somewhere along the line, maybe a long time ago, someone manipulated him. And now look at him. He's unstoppable. No, and he's unstoppable. You need to ask him. Ask him that for me.
What's the question? The question is what?
Who manipulated? I mean, who motivated you to become the person that you are today? Because everyone has someone that they focused on, some goal, it's as silly as like you hear people say, "Oh, I want this great big house." Okay, so one of the first things that as a motivator or manipulator, whatever you want to call it, one of the first things you learn is, okay, so Gerald, you want this great big house with 37 floors and an escalator. Get a picture of the house. Paste it to your bathroom mirror. Why to your bathroom mirror? Because every day you'll see it. You get up, you brush your teeth. The first thing you do is you look at yourself in the mirror because you're so vain. You think that song was not you, but anybody. It's the first thing they do is look at the bath, and it's there, and it keeps it in your focus. Right? This is why I'm doing this today. This is why when everything caught on fire, as soon as we came on in the air tonight, I manipulated myself quickly after a meltdown and threw a temper tantrum like a like a 4-year-old. I need a new iPad and a new TV and a new picture and all that stuff's laying over there. But I manipulated myself to say, hey, we got a bigger goal, not just this. Put it back together, get up and get moving. So,
So your motivation is manipulation.
yes, I do. I have to do it to myself. I have to trick myself sometimes to do stuff because by nature, I am a lazy MFer. You ask me
I
what
don't
do you
believe
want?
that for 1 minute.
Oh no! If you ask me what do you want to do, nothing. That's what I want to do. I want to lay in bed with my dogs, my kid, my wife all day and just binge watch Netflix until there's nothing left on Netflix that we haven't seen. And then we'll go to Amazon and then we'll go to whatever other apps are out there. I don't. So every day is constant manipulation and self-manipulation is incredibly hard because then I manipulate myself, but then the voices in my head manipulate the other voices back. And it's just a never end. That's why I have a drawer full of pills right here that I get from my psychiatrist.
So AJ, who inspired you at a young age to be where you are, to do what you're doing?
You know what? This is an effed up story. And I don't, privately, I can go into it in detail. My father did, but not for the reasons you would think.
Okay.
My father was not a you can do it sort of guy. Set your mind to it and you can achieve it sort of. Nah, my old man wasn't that. My old man, when I found something that I knew I was good at, and the only way you could make money is by working hard. You know, I didn't take like a 9 to 5 for a union job or anything. I went out and took a sales job, and I said, you know, I can do this, and I can make a lot of money. And he told me I was a stupid moron, and that I would be cleaning toilets in a bus station. That motivated my ass, and it still does to this day. Now, there's lots of other people that have come along the way also that motivate me. But I'm not only am I lazy, but I'm also spiteful. So tell me that I can't do something and watch me, point given, and that's it. Enough about me, but point given, all right? I'm just finishing up a spite challenge where 2 years ago, Gerald, during COVID, I became a gigantically fat slob. I mean, gigantically fat. I weighed like 250 pounds. And I'm only, yeah, and I'm only like 3'2". So, you know, I mean, that was a lot of weight. 2 years ago, I felt terrible. I said, you know, I'm going to go back in the gym. And I went back in the gym really hard because my motto is you're either all in or you're not in at all. So let's do this. And I lost a lot of weight. I got in really good shape, but I couldn't get to the goal. I couldn't even get anywhere close to my goal. I get old age. My body just is different now. So last October, November, I went to my primary, getting some work done. She's like, hey, you look good. You know, your weight is, 180. You know, that's good. I said, no, I want 147. She's like, you can't do 147. It's not possible. Guess what I weighed this morning? 153.
Whoa.
In Christmas, I was 205 because I had taken some time off from the gym, put weight back on. Again, all in, all out. You catch me in the gym, I'm Hulk Hogan. You catch me out of the gym, I'm Dom DeLuise. You know what I mean? So I was out, I got in, so I'm down 55 pounds, and I'm going to hit.
Congratulations, brother. That's awesome.
I'm not there yet. I got a couple more weeks, and I'll be at 147. Right, my wife did see me though recently. She goes, "You look like Larry David." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "You're like an old man." She goes, "Your arms are like they flap. You got flaps. Where did your muscle go?" I'm like, "Don't worry, they'll come back. It's muscle memory. It's still there. It's just it's hibernating."
Got muscle memory.
Yeah, it'll come back. Or I'll manipulate my muscles back somehow. So, dude, you played football, and you played a lot of football in your lifetime, and you played.
Yeah, I started when I was 8.
8.
When I was 8. Yeah.
So tell us about the very first time you put pads on. How did you? Was it something you wanted to do? Was it something that someone said, "Hey, you should do this"? Were your friends into it? Did you watch football on TV? What made you want to play?
I was the youngest kid on the block, and so when we played football on the dirt road with the ditch running down one side, the older guys used to always toss me the ball and ask me to run along the sideline. So they wanted to hit me to see how far they could knock me into the ditch. I didn't know that at the time, but that was the whole game, is to toss Gerald the ball let him run and see who can hit him the hardest in the ditch. And that was my way of being able to be accepted. Is I wanted to hang out with those guys so much that I would do anything that they asked me to do. And football was the name of the game, that and baseball. So that kind of got me interested in football. My mom was very much a football fanatic. Her team was the Vikings, and then the Bucks when they came along, the expansion team. And so she was my initial coach. You know, she just kind of coached me up and things like that. My first time putting on a helmet and shoulder pads was when I was 8 years old in Orlando, Florida. Played with this Pop Warner team, the Chiefs, and I weighed 85 pounds. So there was weight restrictions. So as an 8-year-old weighing 85 pounds, there was only one position I can play, and that was the offensive line. So my first position was offensive tackle in Pop Warner. That was the very first time for me.
Because you weighed too much to play other positions. Is that what it was?
Correct.
Okay. How were you? Were you a big, like, tall kid? Were you a heavy set kid at that age? What was
I'm
it?
still big boned. We call it big boned. Thick.
If you were a woman, Tom would be hitting you up right now. Okay, he definitely would. All right. So do you remember your first practice? Do you literally remember suiting up for the first time?
I do not. I don't remember that. My football memories are very vague. They come in moments, and then certain things that I did. For example, like I remember wanting to punt, and they wouldn't allow me to punt. They wouldn't allow me to throw or anything like that. The second year I played football was in Reno, Nevada, and I was able to play wide receiver flanker. We call it the flanker back at the time.
Okay.
So it was a little bit of running back, a little bit of wide receiver. Today they call it a slot. And so it allowed me the freedom to be able to run routes, catch passes. And I just remember being in.
How did you end up in Nevada from Orlando? Were they scouting Pop Warner at that time? Or was it an NIL deal? Were you the first?
Very first NIL deal. No, my father was a musician, so we traveled around quite a bit. When I went to Michigan, actually, Michigan was the 11th school that I attended.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So my father was a musician, and we just, traveled around quite a bit.
So are you musical?
I am. I'm a percussionist drummer. I haven't done it in a while, so my chops are a little rusty, but yeah, I can keep time pretty good.
I did not know that. Did you play in a band at all when you were younger?
I did. I played in our junior high school band, choir ensemble.
Okay.
In the church, and then a little bit with my father. On a couple occasions, I went out and played gigs with him as well.
No way.
Yeah.
And what kind of gigs were they like nightclub gigs? Were they like weddings, things like that, or?
No, they were kind of like the villages in Orlando is a neighborhood, a community.
Yeah.
So he played for different things like that. He played in some jazz clubs. So I did that a couple of times with him as well.
You played with him in the villages way back when?
Yes.
Do you still get tested for STDs to this date? Because the villages is the number one.
I wouldn't have any reason to be tested.
That's just the thing.
I played drums and nothing else.
If you drive past the villages on I-75, there's a likelihood
you catch an STD.
that you could get something there. Yeah, seriously, look it up if you don't believe me. It's insane. So, all right. So you went out to Nevada, and you started catching the ball. You started running the ball. And you were what? You were 9, 10 years old at this time?
10 years old.
10 years old. Okay.
Yeah. And that was my first taste of glory, and so from then on, I enjoyed, the cheering of the crowds and stuff like that. So, I've always really wanted to just score touchdowns, get first downs and score touchdowns. Whether that be running it, catching it, throwing it, I'd want to do that. But my method of doing it would have to be behind the mask. I played football really because I can belong, play athletics, play sports, go anywhere in the country, and always get picked and chosen in sport and be accepted without having to really say anything. So it allowed me to be able to enter into groups, ebb and flow relatively easily to do so.
Okay.
But I was pretty much a shy guy, so I kind of, needed to be behind the mask.
I get that. I definitely do. I was once the same way. I was the guy who. It's funny. All my stories have me ending up in bars or something. But I was the guy in the bar that would stand in the corner all night and look at the girl instead of going up and manipulating her, because I had no manipulation skills at that point. I would manipulate myself right out of, don't talk to her, dude. This is not going to go well. So at what point, at what level in playing did you start to realize, or did people start to tell you, hey, kid, you know what? You're better than the average kid who comes out?
I never really truly believed it, even to this day. But I think that I started hearing those types of things in junior high school. My ninth grade year at Memorial Junior High School, had a great coach in Lou Ferrelli, and he manipulated me.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy.
In believing that, that I had a talent, I had a gift, and that, he encouraged that through discipline, through challenging as well. So that was my first, really, in terms of coaches. I've been coached by just great people. Coach Ferrelli at Memorial Junior High School, Coach Whittington at Blooming High School, Al Warnicki at Titusville High School, who's a legend, Hall of Famer. Then, of course, Bo Schembechler, Tom Landry, Don Shula.
Scratch the last three, okay? The three names that everyone knows. Go back to before college. Which one of those coaches made the biggest impression on you, and why?
It would have to be Coach Ferrelli. We wore a shirt that said "You Gotta Love It" on it, and he taught me the importance of just the dedication, the work ethic, the teamwork. All those things made a difference, and they mattered, whether they be on the football field, whether they be in the classroom, whether it be at home, whether it be in the community. Again, like I said, my father traveled around quite a bit, so I was often home with my mom and my younger brother and sister at the time, and I did a lot of babysitting and picking them up and things of that nature because he was gone a lot. My mom was working, and he just reinforced to continue to do those types of things and just do them in a manner that was at a higher level. And so, I will be forever grateful to Coach Ferrelli for instilling that as a good, solid foundation for me to build upon.
Did you still? I don't know if I'm not using the right wording here. Don't be angry with me. But did you still have doubts inside as far as your own talent, even though Coach Ferrelli is telling you, "Hey, kid, you know what? You can do this. You can be more than just somebody who played football as a little kid"?
So my mom and my grandmother, my father, they would always say that they wanted me to be the best version of me that I could be, right? And so coaches say that as well. But you want to be the best running back and the best at whatever you do. And I knew that I would never, ever be the fastest. I would never, ever be the most talented. I worked at everything that I had. I had to work to build speed. I had to work on quickness. I worked on hand-eye coordination. I worked on throwing the ball. I worked on the fundamentals of football. So I had to be technically sound because I was an overall great athlete, but I wasn't great at any one thing.
Okay.
Right? So I was never ever the fastest. I was never ever the strongest. I just never ever was going to be the best at one of those things. So I had to be well-rounded. I had to be intelligent. I had to know what everybody else was doing on the football field, just because, right? And that's how I level the playing field, if you will.
So how, as you set these tasks or goals for yourself to be faster, to be smarter, to be faster mentally, than the
Mhm.
competition to get stronger, hand-eye coordination. How did you do it? Where did you find the time to do it? Was this something that coach just worked into your daily workout during team workouts, or did you go
When you
home
find
and work
yourself
on
doing
this?
nothing,
Get up
if you
early
find
and
yourself bored, not busy, not doing anything, why don't you do this? Once you think about doing that, just throwing the ball up, closing your eyes until you can feel that it's close to your face, and then open it up and catch. Just different kind of drills. But I would do those things in
did
my
you do?
sleep, when I woke up, in my downtime. I was always working on something, my grip. And it was just all fundamental stuff, technique stuff. But I would do that on a daily basis, and it didn't really matter what sport it was, but that's what I had to do.
What other sports did you play as a kid?
I played basketball, I played baseball, and I ran track.
What?
So,
Why track? You
well,
weren't.
working on speed, right? Got to work on speed, got to work on coordination and things of that nature. So it was just told to me that this would be a good way to be able to do that. I ran 60 high hurdles in junior high school. I did that for 1 year. Then I was too big for it, and I wasn't flexible enough to continue to do that on a regular basis. But in high school, I threw the discus, so I was a state champion in the discus.
Wow, that is very cool. I don't think I've ever known or even talked to anyone that's thrown the discus before. So that is awesome. So did these other? How did the discus? How did baseball? How did hoops help you in football, or did it not?
I would have to say that it did. Um, it allowed you to be able to use different muscles, to be able to see things in different perspective. Again, when you're talking about hand-eye coordination, ball hitting the bat, glove into the ball into the glove, all those things matter. Running bases, stealing bases, acceleration. I'm sure it had, some effect on what I did on the football field. My dad, my mom always wanted me to be well-rounded, and then also to choose what I really loved after trying things and putting my all into it. At the end of the day, what is it that you truly love to do? And that's what you should do.
Eh,
I love football for a lot of reasons, but again, I think the biggest thing is outside of it being popular, my mom's first love in terms of sport. But it allowed me to be able to hide behind a mask and not show feelings and emotions, and be able to compete at a level where people couldn't really see how I was feeling about what I was doing.
So you get to high school and you play. What year do you start playing varsity ball? You sophomore? You junior?
Immediately. So in Orlando, junior high schools were 7th, 8th, and 9th grade.
Okay.
So that was that. And then high school started 10th grade. So I started on the varsity my 10th grade year at Boone High School. My parents divorced, so I transferred from Orlando to Titusville, where I grew up. So I finished my senior year at Titusville High School.
And at what was it immediately in high school, your first season as varsity, where you knew that you were going to be able to go to college? That I'm assuming were you were offered scholarships to go to college to play football?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And that started my sophomore year. So I started getting letters from the Florida schools my sophomore year.
Now did that
Probably
make
some others, but I really didn't. That was kind
did,
of really hidden from me.
did mom not want you to leave state? Is that what?
No, not at all. It's quite the opposite. But what I'm saying is that outside of the Florida schools that made it obvious, all the other letters that came, it just really didn't matter. So it wasn't about the recruiting process. It was about me getting a big head. So, and then almost immediately after football season, I transferred to Titusville High School. So all the stuff that came to Boone High School really didn't transfer to Titusville High School. So I never was privy to that information until I started playing football at Titusville High School.
Okay. So now you know that schools are interested in you. Does that make you work harder? Do you want to excel? Do you want to be even better? Hey, look, if they're looking at me now, I don't feel like I'm running fast enough. I don't feel like I'm strong enough. I don't feel like I'm there yet. Or did you get that sort of like, oh yeah, let's go, I'm ready now?
It's more, let's go, I'm ready. So I wanted to be even more ready, right? So when I was in junior high school, I started looking at pictures and images of people in college. So I would take a photo album and cut out of the magazines pictures of college athletes, and I'd stuff it with college athletes pictures, running backs. When I got to high school, I started putting the professional athletes in. So I was always looking a little bit further ahead to see what they were doing, what their talent level was like. And I was imitating, mimicking, studying those guys. That's how I kind of went about my training and my thoughts, my mindset.
Did you miss out, or do you ever look back and feel like you missed out on going out with the guys and drinking when you were in high school, maybe dating more, maybe having more fun because you were so focused and you worked so hard?
I was never ever that focused, AJ.
Okay, all right.
So I did hang out with the guys, my teammates. They were my boys. They still are my boys. I had a girlfriend in high school, and matter of fact, I actually got engaged in high school. So I had a nice work-life balance even back then.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I still haven't been able to figure that out yet, and I'm 50 something. So, all right.
I
So
haven't figured it out either. It's just a juggling act.
yeah, life is a juggling act. All right. So you have choices in college. You end up choosing Michigan.
Yes.
Okay. Was there a close runner-up second?
Michigan wasn't really the first choice.
Oh.
So I my five, when I had to narrow it down to five, it was UCLA, Pitt, UNC, Notre Dame, and Michigan.
Okay.
And after my trip to Pitt under Coach Fazio, I chose Pitt. I committed to Coach Fazio in the University of Pittsburgh. I spoke with Dan Marino on the telephone. I spoke with Hugh Green on the telephone. I spoke with Tony Dorsett on the telephone. I had a wonderful time in Pittsburgh. And I think that it was a good fit for what I wanted to do as a running back. And so I committed to Foge under those pretenses. I wanted to take all of my trips, so I ended up taking a trip to Michigan, had a fabulous time in Michigan in terms of who I got to see, where I went. Everyone was wonderful. It was nice. It was a great experience. But I had already committed to Pitt. I stayed an extra day because I spent the first day with Earl Wilson, who was a pitcher with the Detroit Tigers and a friend of my mom's. And so that first day I didn't spend on campus. It was kind of off campus. So I stayed another day, Monday, to be able to, take on some academic stuff that I hadn't done on Friday. So I got home Monday night, told my mom about the trip. Everything was just wonderful. I went to bed like I would normally do. And I had a dream. And the dream was me in the tunnel. And I was bobbing up and down with the Michigan helmet on, with my name on the back of the jersey, white, the number 22 on it. So I'm looking at myself like from up here, like perched up here, looking down and watching myself bound up and down in the tunnel. And then we run out of the tunnel and I jump up and I touch the banner. I never came down. I woke up. That's how I chose Michigan. That was the reason why I chose Michigan.
So you literally were the first guy to portal. See it? You said, sorry, I'm in the
Of
portal.
course you. Of course you. Of course you, AJ.
You know, I'm thinking here. My mind
The
moves
transfer
quickly
portal,
sometimes.
NIL transfer portal. There you are. You're right there. You pulled it all together.
All right, so you go to Michigan. You have a good college career in Michigan, right?
Um, yes, I would have wanted it to be better, but for what it was, and for me, I would have to say it was a good career. It was if I had to do it all over again, I would do the exact same thing. AJ, I got injured my freshman year. It was injury prone. I started played some game, not started, but played some games as a freshman. Started my last 3 years at running back and fullback. I got recruited as a running back, got moved to fullback, which was a great decision, a great choice by Bo and the staff. One that if he had told me that from the very beginning, didn't really matter if I dreamt about it or not, I wouldn't have gone. So it worked out for the highest good. And I didn't, the big game that, that sets you as in terms of legacies at Michigan, I never had one of those. I had some great games, some big games, but not that legacy game that I really, really wanted. But again, I think overall, I think I had a great career at the University of Michigan. Great memories and some wonderful friendships that were made. So great experience.
Yeah, you Michigan people all seem to love each other, and you all seem to stick together. It's like you find, I always say about hockey fans, like nobody really knows any hockey fans, but when you find one of them, you find them all. Michigan people, you guys roll deep.
The team. It's ingrained. It's ingrained. Absolutely.
All right, so you get through the college years, and you had a solid career in college. Would you classify it as solid?
Solid, yes.
Okay, solid. You fought through some injuries. You played Jim Harbaugh was your quarterback for a time, correct?
That's correct. He was there the 4 years that I was there. He had a redshirt year, but we started in the backfield together for 2 years. So we had 2 years together in the backfield.
Okay, all right. So you finish your college career, and then there's nothing left except pro or not pro.
That's
right?
it. That's it.
And back then there was really no. I guess the USFL was a thing then.
The
wasn't it?
USFL was kind of a thing. It was yes, no, but yeah, it was the USFL.
That was back like when Trump was USFL, right? With the generals and Herschel. I mean, was that the time, like early
That is the
80s,
time.
early to mid 80s? Okay.
Late 80s. Yeah.
Late 80s. All right. If you have to tell yourself it was the late 80s, okay. But I distinctly remember it in the early 80s. But if you want to younger yourself, it's okay.
Maybe
so-
about that mid 80s.
All right. So let me ask you this now, because this is what we're trying to do all week is last game, you have senior day, you're done. There's the NFL portal. I'm assuming that you weren't on the invite list for the portal, correct? For the NFL's, so not the portal, they're the combine. I mean, the NFL combine.
Yep, went to the combine.
You did, okay.
Yep,
All
got
right.
invited to the combine. Got invited to the Hula Bowl. Got invited to the combine. Participated in that. Most of the Michigan, I believe, all of us at the combine, Michigan players did not run at the combine. I had an injury against Ohio State my senior year. Played in some games, but because of the back-to-back games, the Hula Bowl, and so on and so forth, decided that I wasn't going to run, and we were all going to run, which would be equivalent to a pro day at Michigan at that time. So we did not run at the combine in 1987.
All right. So when the season ends and you Hula Bowl, which had to be killer because you get to go to Hawaii, right, for the Hula Bowl?
We played in Hawaii that year. I did not play, but I did get a chance to go on the trip. So it was very cool to kind of go back. Jimmy was my quarterback. So Jimmy and I were there in the Hula Bowl.
Yeah, Hawaii's a killer place.
Indeed.
Um,
So the combine went well. That draft for me, how kind of, I'll go back to how I was feeling like being the best at a position or a spot, how I felt about that. Um, it was the same thing with the draft. And back then, as you guys well know, 87, there was 12 rounds, and it was only 2 days of a combine. And so from the very beginning, I knew that I wasn't going to be day one. It would be not likely, very unlikely that I would be a day one guy. So I was always going to be like a mid rounder. If drafted at all, I was going to be a mid round draft choice. And so that first day, I wanted to really see who was being drafted, what was kind of going on. And it was a long day for me because I got a chance to see some friends and things like that who I played against, played with, been on the recruiting trail with, that went before me, and I was happy for them, like elated for them. And then it got to a point where I was looking at running backs versus fullbacks. So I was in my head, I'm a running back, but on the field, I'm a fullback. In reality, I'm right smack dab in the middle. I'm a tweener. So I'm not a really true running back. I'm not a true fullback. Wasn't big enough and, all those stats to block and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't that guy. I wasn't a Christian Okoye, right? A Steve Smith, a Tim Manoa. I wasn't that. So I was a little lighter, a little shiftier, but I wasn't a running back either. So I wasn't really truly fast enough. So I didn't really fit in with a lot of team dynamics in terms of what kind of that they ran. So I'm watching guys like.
So what goes through your head there though? Is there doubt? Is there nervousness? Is there anxiety? I mean, what are you feeling? I know that you're happy for your friends.
Oh, absolutely, and that never changed. But it's like, where do I fit in? Where do you get in? Where do you fit in? And so Jimmy goes in the first round. We had 5 guys that got drafted that year. 4 of them were offense. 2 were my backfield mates. So Bob Harriman went as a fullback in the 3rd round to the Patriots. Great spot, great place for him. God rest his soul. And he did great there, amazing there. I was happy for him. Thomas Wilcher got drafted in a later round, a mid to late round. And because he's a true running back, he's a track guy, so he's fast. It made sense. But, like, where is it that I fit in? There were only like 4 or 5 fullbacks taken that year. Period. And I thought that I was going to be a 6th or 7th round choice. I'd gotten the word that Tampa Bay was interested, which would have been cool since that was my mom's team. I really didn't care about the organization, how it was being run, because I felt like it was being run, not the best. They were just kind of skimping on contracts and things like that.
But it was in Tampa.
The fact of the matter is that they're just great business people, period.
Or
they run a good tight ship. But for me, it was frustrating. That day one was fine, but day 2, again, the 5th, 6th, 7th round came and went. And I had to leave the house. I didn't want to be around anyone. Obviously, I wasn't invited to New York for the draft or anything like that. But I wanted to be in the house. And then my younger brother, Chris, he just gave me the business. I don't think that he did it on purpose, but he's like, I know you better than that. Like stuff like that. But he was siding with me, just trying to lift me up.
He was
but in fact, it was
you.
it was making it worse. So I just had to get out of the house and go play basketball, just kind of walk around, drive around. And day 2 went by. And no more than the draft had ended did I get a phone call from Green Bay and Dallas. Wanted to fly me in for an interview and bring me on as a free agent. And so I chose Dallas. I did that and chose Dallas. So that's how I ended up in Dallas.
Now, so literally, the draft ends and the phone rings. Pretty
phone
much
starts
within
to
a
ring.
day. So,
Less than that, like hours.
all right. So was there a difference at that time between, say, getting drafted in round 12, dollar and cents wise, and not getting drafted and getting that phone call for a free agent? I mean,
For sure.
if you were a team, would it make almost business sense to say, wait a minute, why take this guy here if we can call him tomorrow and pay him half the price? Was that a thing?
Sure. It's always been a thing.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's always been a thing. I didn't look at it that way because that's, I'm not talking about value. I'm talking about, hey, listen, it's my athletic abilities. But yeah, I'm sure that probably had something to do with it. Not everything, but there was a difference in, basically that difference is the signing bonus. So there's signing bonus pieces of it. Obviously the contract. Back then the minimum was like $65,000.
Wow, they get that a snap now, don't they?
Exactly. I think it's like four and a quarter now. Not even. I think it's even more than that. It used to be. I think it's more like 6 or 7.
So let me get this straight, just so that I make sure my timeline is following you here. Let's say the draft ends on Friday, and if you're getting a phone call Saturday or Sunday, that only left you a little bit of time to sort of wonder. Do you wonder once it shuts down and they say, all right, lights off, draft is over? Is there a depression? I know the phone is going to ring. Do you get tipped off early? I mean, we're speaking to Jerron Morris, who did his pro day, and he was contacted by teams like immediately after the pro day. And I'm like, well, it just doesn't, you know that this college sports is all new to me, and I'm learning as I go. And this is the first draft I'm actually really sort of vested in.
Gotcha.
So it kind of, where we talked to Jerron a couple of weeks ago after his pro day, and he told us where he likely was going to end up playing. And I'm like, how the hell do you know this after your pro day? And he goes, they called.
Yeah, it's a little different now. Everything went through agents back then. Teams really didn't call players directly or anything like that. Everything kind of went through an agent. So there's really no, and even still, just with social media, technology makes it a lot different.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of right now. Back then, it didn't happen as fast, as quickly. But yeah, it was, no, I didn't really have time to kind of stew in it. And nor did I. Once I decided I was going to go to the Dallas Cowboys, that was it. All the other stuff, really didn't matter. What was done was done. Couldn't change it, couldn't do anything about it. Just have to move forward. That's been pretty much me my entire life, is that whatever happens, it happens. I deal with it, I process it. And, at the end of the day, good, bad, or indifferent, we just move forward.
A couple more questions, and I'll bring this thing to a close, because I know I told you, hey, could you come on with me for 20 or 30 minutes? But I manipulated you. I mean, what do you want to do here?
No, 10 minutes, by the way.
What's that? 10 minutes. All right.
You said 10 minutes.
I manipulated myself into thinking it was longer. But so Dallas and Green Bay call. Do you go to both places, or did you just go to Dallas?
Dallas.
So you fly down to Dallas, you meet with them. You're not like running and jumping and all that crap, right? So literally going in, you sit down, you meet with the ownership or the coaching staff or whoever, and then they say, okay, yeah, we'd like to work with you, and they give you whatever the contract, and you sign the contract. What was the feeling when you walk out of that building? Were you by yourself? Was mom with you?
I was by myself.
Okay, so what was after it happened? What was the feeling? Was it like, oh my God,
I'm a Dallas Cowboy? Yeah, it was bigger than life. Being at Michigan is a big stage, but when you grow up watching football, and we had 2 teams that we watched in Florida. It was 3 stations, and we saw the Dolphins, and if we didn't see the Dolphins, we saw the Cowboys, right? And so those were my teams growing up. I grew up, idolizing Mercury Moore's number 22. That was my first favorite number. Has been since, and it was because of Murphy Moore's and the Miami Dolphins. Bob Hayes played in Dallas, wore number 22. Tony Dorsett ended up being there. Herschel Walker ended up being there. And these are guys that I always looked up to, kind of watched and admired. Again, the relationship with Foge, Fazio, and Pitt. Those three guys that called me, I ended up playing alongside them. Tony Dorsett, Hugh Green, Dan Marino. I was their teammates.
Man.
Didn't go to their school, but I ended up being their teammates.
And after you strike a deal with them, who was the first phone call to? Is it to mom? Do you remember?
No, there's no phone call because there's no cell phones, there's no dialing or anything like that. It was
Well, there were
like
payphones.
that.
Dude, you didn't have a time. You didn't have a time. I know that you were out of work. You just got a job. You couldn't have somebody.
There was she found out that I was offered a contract when I got home. I didn't call anyone.
Oh wow.
I didn't call anyone. But when I got home after I talked to her, it was my grandmother.
Are there tears at that point? Is there a celebration? I mean,
no.
Or is there any renewed pressure as, okay, whew, that was awesome. Now I got it. And it's like, oh crap, I'm going to have to go to camp pretty soon. And these guys are going to be
looking forward to what's next.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really like looking forward to what's next. I'm excited about things to come and what it takes to be able to be successful at another level. So I look at it as a challenge, and that's no different. That was no different.
All right. So any advice to anyone that's going into that's going to be in draft this week, and guys that are maybe bubble guys, guys who may slide in after this year's mystery relevant. What is, if there's 2 cents of wisdom to anyone who's out there wondering, stressing, worrying, hopeful, excited, but yet still, because you put all your eggs in this basket as you go through high school and college, and the dream is, I'm sure, I mean, how many Super Bowl winning touchdowns did you catch in the backyard? As a kid, right? Like all of them, right? How many walk-off grand slam home runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the World Series did we all hit as a kid? So now for some guys, and you were there, this is it. This is the moment for them. And some guys might be thinking, well, crap, I don't know if I'm going to get a call. I don't know if I'm going to get drafted. I don't know what I'm going to do to provide for my family. What do you say to those guys?
This is not the moment. It's just a moment. And if you look at it as a moment in time, you have to look at it as being present. Enjoy that journey, what it took to get there, what you're going through right now. It'll never come again. It'll never happen again. And you're going to be one of very few people to be able to experience the things that you're experiencing. So enjoy it. Have fun with it no matter what it is, because it will always work out for the highest good.
Gee, I love you. You know that, right? I seriously, I get to know you a little bit more daily almost now.
Yes.
And it's been a pleasure up to this point. I love your positivity. I never feel like you're trying to manipulate me in any way, shape, or form.
That's a good thing.
You now are going to get off of this show tonight, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, how much has this guy been BSing me? I've never BS you. I just, if I see anything in someone and they don't see it in themselves, I always feel like I wouldn't be doing them a justice to say, hey, yeah, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't. I mean, look, if you look like Chef Tom, I'm going to say, yeah, video's not your thing. You definitely want to do audio only. But no, you're a pleasure. You're always positive. You're always upbeat, and you are always working on the next step. And you just said, live in the moment. And that's kind of how I see you. You live in the moment, but you're always looking ahead, many, many, many moments ahead. Am I right is my perception right of you?
That's my goal. That's my challenge to myself, is to be able to do that on the daily, All
right. So what's big? What's big? And we'll wrap with this, but what's big? What are we looking forward to? What moves are we making? Obviously, we're going to take this show, White Noise. And when I say we, of course, I know I'm smart enough to jump on a bandwagon when I see something good here. You're going to take this thing and probably just boot me off at some point, but that's all good. I'm enjoying the moment being involved in it right now. But what's on the horizon? Because I know that you get your toes in a lot of different waters right now.
Yeah, I think the priority right now is really White Noise, and then doing some of the consulting work that I'm doing in the sports industry with several players and brands. So, but White Noise is a priority for me right now. Just kind of getting it up and running where I feel comfortable with what I'm doing, the messages that I'm bringing, and that I'm sharing with people across the world or around the world. And wanting guests to be able to come aboard to be able to tell their stories, right?
And you want to inspire with these stories, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you got to love it. You know what I mean? Like, you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. I mean, it's cliche-ish when you say it, but when you peel it back and dial into it a little bit more, it's all the sense in the world, makes all the sense in the world.
Gerald White, every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern time. Tune in. If you don't have the app, download the app. 102.9 The Game. You can catch it on all of the Bleacher Brother network social media outlets. You should be able to catch it this week also on all the White Noise social media outlets. You'll also be able to find them on Spotify, the replays, and of course, if it's on YouTube, you can find it anytime on YouTube. But it's one of my. The show is dynamite. I know there's only been one, but I've actually seen 3 of them already. And when I tell you that one, he did the first one, and I'm thinking, yeah, all right, this might be cool. I don't know, it might be boring, and it was absolutely it went on. Gerald's got. Like he manipulated himself into thinking, all right, we're going to get this done in 23 minutes because that will leave me time to go to the bathroom and have a commercial break. And no, the thing went on for like 6 hours. And we're like, all right. And Gerald's like, I'll get that down to 23 minutes. I'm like, yeah, okay. But it was such great content. And then the next time he says, all right, I got this guy, and this guy is an equipment manager. I'm like, an equipment manager? This is going to be as interesting as foot fungus. This guy was the most interesting guy I've ever met in my life.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, he definitely is. And they are, and there's always an inspirational message that comes back at the end. And I think it's fantastic. Look, I appreciate you always making yourself available when we ask. And this was, I'm trying to tell a story that's different this week than everyone else on every station or every show you watch is, JJ is going to go here and Caleb's going to go here. And you know what? You can get that everywhere. I want to bring, I want to humanize it this week. And you help do that. And we appreciate it. And you're huge.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you, AJ.
It's back at you. You're a huge part of the Bleacher Brother family. I look forward to growing with you. And Wednesday, 12 noon, right here, wherever you're listening or watching this tonight, White Noise with Gerald White. Gerald, have a great night. Thank you. Everybody sit tight. We're going to go to commercial break. We're going to come back. We got Lucre Live. We got Looch On Ice coming up. We got more headlines. Just stay where you are. Gerald, great stuff. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I got
greatest album ever put out, Def Leppard Hysteria. The greatest. And there's a lot of great albums, but the greatest one ever put out. No. Go back to where you were, dude. Go back to where you were. So we're going to go to Lucre Live here momentarily. And then this is actually breaking right here because this never happened before. Apparently, they've started the NFL draft early. So we're going to go to Detroit. And we are going to find out who the first pick in the NFL draft is right from Detroit. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah. So, I'm still confused on this whole draft thing. I think we're going to try and get Doug Flutie back in the draft this year.
Doug Flutie's in the portal right now.
Yeah. Been showing a little bit, he's promising right now. So we're looking at Flutie. Once Taylor's been broke, so he came up to us. He's like, "Hey, can I go back in the draft, man?" We're like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?"
LT can't be broke. Gerald was just with LT golfing on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Gerald rolls in circles that you and I only dream about. Are you kidding me? This guy is.
I'm really like the draft is kind of exciting me this year because there's a lot of players that are coming in. I don't even know who the heck their names are, but. They're going to bring so much money to the NFL, and we're just going to, just do the same old crap that we do. We're going to change the rules. We're going to make it harder for them to play, and the way football used to be played, and that's what it's going to happen. So, I'm trying to think of what's that guy's name? That's Tommy Meatloaf or Tommy Veal Cutlets. What's his agent's name?
Oh yeah, Vinny Gumbats.
Yeah, Vinny Gumbats. Yeah, we're gonna have Vinny Gumbats. He's gonna be representing a lot of the new players that are in the upcoming draft. And he said that he was at the combine and he's already got a lot of prospects going. And man, you should see the bling on this guy. Yeah, he's gonna be rolling in the dough.
Kind of looks when he has that green suit on though. Doesn't he remind you of Lucky Charms, dude?
Yeah, with that funky hat too, the Lucky Charms dude. I think the smile too, man. But actually, when I met him at Vegas,
he's a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy, very charming, very well spoken. I think it's just a gimmick, the suit, the hat, the bling. But evidently, he represents quite a few guys in the NFL that are pretty good players. So,
all right, and let's make it clear here, Commissioner.
Okay,
if we goof on you on this show, that means we like you. If we're not goofing on you, if we're not talking about you, don't anybody take it personally. Yes, and it turns out that the guy you're just talking about there, Johnny Cutler's agent, is actually going to be with Steven and his Lucre Live here.
Oh, there he is, yeah.
But anyway, the guests are lined up tonight. So, but if for the most part, if we're goofing on you, it means that we like you, we love you, and that we support you. So, Commish, I'm going to let you out because I got to bring Lucre Live so he can tell us who the first pick is and everything you're talking about. He's got a special guest, but we'll come back to you and go scratch your head there. All right. So, Steven, what is this guy's name? We forget his name. His name is
Sean Statello.
Yeah, Sean Statello. That's right. It's some Jersey name. We knew that. And he was a great guy. We talked to him at the Super Bowl. I think Nick the Flick did a video with him at the Super Bowl. Really good. But he looks like a Lucky Charms dude right there. So, Steven, there's a lot of stuff going on. You can get rid of Statello if you want to there. And let me get your music here. And
I got trapped in the Villages.
What's it? He's up in the Villages?
No, I'm
in the
stuck
Villages. Oh my goodness! And our friend Bill Perkins, who, by the way, I gotta plug something with our friend Bill Perkins and Top Fan Rivalry. Let me pull it up here so that I got it right. And this will work out really good too, Stephen, because people are going to be able to use your code because you have an affiliate or an ambassador code with Top Fan Rivalry, correct?
Correct.
All right, so Top Fan Rivalry right now has got this special going on, and it ends this week, and I need to find it. Maybe it's in the team store. Let me look in the team store. Yeah, right here. So they're the dugout mugs, and these things are absolutely awesome. I'm going to order a couple of these this week. Of course, I'll have to get the Yankees one. Let me see if I see the Yankees one pictured here anywhere. I do, right there. It's front and center. Yeah, right there. Oh, no, L.A., of course, is front and center. But anyway, these dugout mugs are absolutely fantastic. You can go to topfanrivalry.com and go into the team store. And in the team store, these dugout mugs, they're regular. You can go buy them anywhere for $69, $70. But on the Top Fan Rivalry site right now until the end of this week, until Friday, I believe it's Friday, the dugout mugs are $57.99. And if you use the ambassador code Luker, all capitals, L-U-C-K-E-R.
L-U-K-E-R.
L-U-K-E-R. I added a C. Okay.
And you get an additional 10% off of it.
Additional 10% off. So 10% of 57, let's just say it's $6. So now you're looking at $52 for one of these suckers. And these things are great. And if you got a man cave, a sports bar in the house, you want to support your team, you grab a bunch, you put them in the sports bar. These things absolutely rock. So topfanrivalry.com and use the code Luker, all capitalized, checking out and save an additional 10% off. So, Steven, what is going on? Bring us up to date on everything that's happening right now. Nope, that's not working. There you go.
With the dugout mugs, with the discount, let me tell you the total before taxes and shipping. It's $52.19. If people are wondering for those mugs, $52.19. All right, and the NBA, we have some NBA action going on. It's almost halftime in Cleveland. The Cavaliers are up 56-44 against the Orlando Magic right now.
58-44, and I called this one as one of our locks of the night.
And Philadelphia 76ers are up 27-18 against the New York Knicks in the second quarter. 10:49 left to go.
Wait a minute, the Knicks have 18 points in a quarter and a half almost? What the hell? All right, that's all right. They'll get it together.
Some baseball action we go. We got the Milwaukee Brewers and Pittsburgh Pirates tied 1 apiece in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Phillies are up 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th against the Cincinnati Reds right now. The Detroit Tigers are up 6-0.
Phillies are up. What's the score?
4-0.
In what inning?
Bottom 7.
Oh, we need runs. We need 5 more runs in this game here. All right, good. What else you got?
Detroit Tigers are up 6-0 against Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 6th inning. Also going on in Atlanta, the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves are still scoreless in the 4th inning, 0-0.
It's all right.
Kansas City, runners on 2nd and 3rd for Toronto in the top of the 3rd inning, 1 out. It's a 0-0 score in that game. In Minnesota, the Twins are up 2-0 against the White Sox in the top of the 3rd inning. Top of the 2nd for the Answerbacks and St. Louis Cardinals. Bases are loaded for them right now. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks right now. And our hockey action, we have the Boston Bruins up 2-1 against the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 2nd period.
How much time?
17:38 left to go in that game.
All right, I like that because the over's 5.5. We took the over, so we're halfway there. Go ahead.
And in Carolina, it is scoreless with the Islanders and Hurricanes in the 1st period. 4:23 left to go.
We like that. We're right on pace. We're under there. And then Vegas, Dallas, that's later, correct?
That is a later game.
All
and
right.
we got a sports quote, and then we're going to go over some history.
Ooh, a history lesson.
Yes. Here's the quote of another quote. You need to play with supreme confidence or else you'll lose again, and then losing becomes a habit. Joe Paterno.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the information. You guess the year on this.
Ooh, quiz. All right.
8 baseball teams begin the inaugural season of the National League in the first game. Boston beats Philadelphia 6-5. What year?
1904.
No.
I give up.
1876.
Okay.
Babe Ruth made his pitching debut with the Baltimore Orioles.
1909.
No.
I give up.
1914.
Okay.
We're 5 years off on that one. The New
Math
York
lesson and trivia. Deb.
The New York Yankees wore pinstripes and the hat in the ring logo for the first time.
1911.
No.
I give up.
1915.
Okay.
The Toronto Maple Leafs defeated the Detroit Red Wings 2-1 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
2025.
No. 1945. The Atlanta Braves ended their 13-game winning streak to start the season. It was the longest streak of wins at the beginning of the season in Major League Baseball history.
1984.
No. 1982.
I was close. It's only 2 years off.
Yep. Michael Moorer became the first left-handed heavyweight champion.
Oh, I can give you this one. This is 1990. So George Foreman knocked out Michael Moorer after Moorer beat Holyfield. I'm going to say 1993.
1994.
Oh, 4. Okay. And then he was knocked out by a 45-year-old George Foreman after that.
The NFL draft was aired in prime time for the first time.
1976.
No, 2010.
Oh, 2010.
And that is your sports update.
That was our sports update. Okay. Hey, Steven, let's talk about Talladega real fast here.
Yes.
All right. So Talladega happened yesterday, right?
Right.
And we've got the ending of the race right here.
Yep.
All right. So the ending of the race looks like Tyler Reddick sort of kind of lucked out here to get
wingman to McDowell, or does he have a chance to win this race? Off turn 4 for the final time.
Comes a run by Brad. There he goes to make his move. He's going to switch back over.
Oh, the block, and around goes the 34. And Reddick steals one.
That was almost exactly how Brad won this race, his first race. Huge wreck here, guys. Reddick.
Oh my God! Great work, guys! Woo!
Tyler Reddick for the win. A dejected Michael McDowell drops the window net.
Great work, guys!
Didn't make it across the start-finish line either.
Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan will get to celebrate as car owners. It'll take a while to get the list of cars involved. Is he wingman to McDowell, or does he have a...
So what that reminded me of is when Tom is out of a pack of cigarettes and he's on his way to 7-Eleven to pick one up, right? So that was the way Talladega ended up yesterday. And so what we're going to do is let me remind everyone real fast here, and it's in the link if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube. Down in the description is the link for our BleacherBET sportsbook promo of the night. It's with BetMGM, and what happens is if you sign up with a new account, you want to get in on these picks. We are absolutely killing it in the NBA playoffs, and this is historic. I've been doing this for decades when it comes to NBA playoffs. I do the same thing in the NCAA tournament. So if you want to follow our picks and hopefully make a few dollars during this playoff season for the NBA, go in the description here, or go to our website, look for the BetMGM link, click it, sign up for the new account, make your initial deposit, and here's what they do. They will give you up to $1,500 back on your first bet if it loses. So you love something and you want to go in and you say, oh my goodness, I love Denver tonight. Denver's going to absolutely just crush the Lakers because the Lakers are old and beat up and finished, and I hate LeBron and yada, 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 yada. Go bet $1,500 on it if you got it. If it doesn't win, they will give you the money back in bonus bets. So, and anyway, that is our sports book of the night right there. And now what I got to do is I got to add in, we got to get to Chef Tom in because Chef Tom is going to give us our update on what happened in the Heritage this past weekend. Now, Tom was with us last week. He gave us some ideas for some prop bets that you could play in the Heritage. And one of the things Tom was concerned about last week was one of the guys' wives might possibly go into labor, and he may have to leave no matter what. And let's get a recap, Tom, quickly of how it all went down.
Well, first I want to say if you did any of my picks, you lost some money because none of my picks came through. I said, don't pick Scotty Scheffler because if his wife has the baby, he's got to bail. And if he bails in the middle of the tournament, you've already made the bet. Well, guess what? You're losing your money.
Well, how did he do?
He won.
Oh, all right.
He won. But it was just crazy because he started out round one. He went par.
Did his wife have the baby yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, because the tournament got actually pushed back. It didn't end until today, right?
Yeah, because of darkness.
Darkness.
Yeah, because it got too dark.
Okay.
I didn't watch the whole tournament,
Mhm.
but if there's a delay in any of the rounds, if they can't finish it, they move it to the next day. I mean, that happened at the Masters.
So how did they run out of light? Was there a weather delay early in the day? Did they have
Probably
to
was a
start late?
weather. Probably again, I didn't follow the full tournament, but there was probably a weather delay in one of the other two rounds, which just keeps pushing the other rounds after that forward.
Okay.
But let's go, Scotty Scheffler. This guy is unfreaking believable. I mean, he started out round one on Thursday. He went par, he went birdie, and then he went double bogey. For those of you who don't know what double bogey is, if the hole is a par 4 and you get a 5, that's a bogey. You get a 6, that's a double bogey. So I was like, okay, so Scotty had a pretty rough start.
Is this possibly right here his double bogey? Let's take a look and see. It could be, it might not be.
It's over. Pure domination. The run continues.
Yeah, that's him winning. Lucky guy. A lot of money. 3.6 this week, 3.6 last week.
What was that?
3.6 week. Yeah, I mean, the guy's just going with that.
Got all that money. Guy can't afford a razor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of these guys are growing the beards.
Yeah, beards are in, buddy.
out. So he finished the first round 2 under. It's respectable. But what the crazy thing about it is, he went bogey free through the whole tournament until it was round 4, the last round. On the last hole, he bogeyed the last hole, but it didn't matter because he finished so far ahead of everybody else. He was what he finished 19 under, and that's amazing. 19 under. The next closest guy to him was that Sahith Theegala, who the guy's good, but he's not a closer. He chokes in the last day. Always chokes in the last day. But Scotty Scheffler finished 3 strokes ahead of the field. Wyndham Clark, I think Wyndham Clark was one of my picks. I can't remember. Wyndham Clark, another great golfer, 15 under. Patrick Cantley, 15 under. JT, Justin Thomas, 15 under. So there was a lot of big names up there. Morikawa, he tied for 9th. So if you picked him in the top 10, you would have made some money. Now I picked him to win the tournament because he's totally due. But so is
Scheffler's wife, and that didn't happen either. So
yeah. Well, a 2-stroke penalty if his wife's water broke. Okay. Now another thing too with that I found which is great. Scotty Scheffler's become the first player since Tiger Woods in 2006 to win on the PGA Tour the week after claiming a major championship following his Masters success. So this guy's starting to make history. Back in the day when Tiger Woods was winning all these tournaments, the field, they weren't playing to win. They were just playing for second place because nobody was beating Tiger Woods. Now, a lot of guys are starting, a lot of the talking heads, not me, but the talking heads are saying that Scotty is kind of like Tiger. Now all these guys are just going out there to play for second place. I like Scotty Scheffler, but I don't think he's a Tiger Woods. Okay, because Tiger Woods, if you watch any of Tiger Woods' old clips when he was the greatest, his swing was always the same. Like picture perfect. Scotty Scheffler looks like he breaks his ankle every time he takes a drive. Like his feet come out. I should have pulled a clip of it, but I didn't just thought of this just now. But every time he hits the ball, like his feet twist. Like it looks like he's going to break his ankle. It's just the most unorthodox swing. But you know what? It's working for him. And if it's working, that's a good thing. But I think eventually, I think he's going to get into a slump. Even Tiger Woods had a slump. This guy's the number one golfer in the world. Now, a lot of people think when they do the golf ratings that it's based off of wins. No, it's not based off of wins. It's based off of how much money you make. Good example is Luke Donald. I think he's the guy that dethroned Tiger Woods back in the early 2000s, I believe it was. And for 3 years, he was the number one. 2 or 3 years, he was the number one golfer in the world. He never won a tournament, but he played in almost every tournament. Like he never won a big tournament, but he played in so many tournaments that his purse, the money that he was winning, made him the number one golfer in the world. Nowadays, a lot of these guys, they play 5, 10, 15 tournaments a year, and they're happy because they're getting big sponsorship money. Now, the PGA a few years back said, hey, no, you guys got to start playing some more golf because the big-time players are the big-time draw. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Scotty Scheffler now, Tiger Woods when he's healthy. I mean, it doesn't matter how
even when he's not healthy, he's still a big draw, isn't he?
That's what I was going to say. I mean, he finished in last place, 18 over at the Masters, but the biggest crowds were around him and Scotty Scheffler. And my brother Steve was at the tournament, and he was like, yeah, sometimes the crowds were bigger than Tigers or than Scotty's crowd.
Where is this Heritage tournament held? Is it in California?
No, the Heritage is held at the Hilton Head, and that's in Carolina, South Carolina.
All right.
Yeah, 69 years it's been there.
So apparently we need to start working in a lot more golf here because we've been throwing up some golf YouTube shorts lately.
Okay.
And we threw up. Hey, Steven, can you go to our YouTube and grab the very last one that I put up last night? This golf YouTube short. But these shorts are, and again, this is just a few hours ago I put it up. 2,100 views. There was another one that was 2,500 views, 2,100 views. These are from yesterday. Last week, put one up. It's got over 10,000 views. So people are digging these golf shorts right here. And we're getting a lot of traction on our golf shorts. Another piece of content that got us a lot of traction, I did not expect it to, was I put this on our YouTube. I don't know if I put it on... I put this on Instagram. I don't know if I put it on our YouTube, but it was a clip from where the hell did the Flyers play? With that Wells Fargo Center, where there was a fight in the Wells Fargo Center. A bunch of Philly fans beating up a Devils fan. Things got this morning. It was at 103,000 views. Now it's at 176,000. And it is racking up the comments. People either hate Philly, people love Philly. Every time I log in here to IG, it's telling me 100 comments, 100 likes, and it's all coming from this one piece right here. But it's really weird how you put a piece of content one place and it does great. On YouTube Shorts, it's got 395 views.
Wow.
It's going to end up with 300,000 on one, 300 on the other one. Doesn't make sense, but... But all right, get to put a bow on this sucker for me, all right?
Yeah, no problem. I think next week, if Scotty plays next week, probably going to win. Be a safe bet to bet on him. But again, his wife is due at the end of the month, so I don't know. Do you pick him? Do you say, his wife's probably going to have the baby, so I'm going to sit him out, or just put like $20 on him as a safe bet? But his odds are not. He's very low odds. I mean, if you bet, let's say you bet $20, maybe you'll get back 25. So it's not a big. What is it there?
All right. Well, you'll be back. You'll be back in a few days to give us the your predictions and your props,
Wednesday,
and all that sort of stuff, right? Wednesday,
the tournament starts on Thursday, so we should have the prop bets and the all the bets we should do on Wednesday, not Thursday, because some of the bets I take off once the tournament starts. A lot of the prop bets are gone.
All right. I just sent Steven put a clip up, but it's not the one I wanted. I just texted you the clip that I was actually looking for, Steven. Did you get it? Shake your head, yes or no? Are you pulling it up? So this is, I think he's showing me, I think. So this one, have you seen? So tell me about this guy right here, because this is a pretty good clip right here.
Okay.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, now that looks like a live tournament because the guy's wearing shorts. Wow, that's a great putt.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't look like a PGA Tour
Live Golf. There it is. Live Golf. Oh my God, who is that guy? I know his name. Look at him throwing the beers and shit. That's the best. What a putt.
Those are the tournaments I want to go to.
Yeah, they just had one down in Miami. At Trump's Doral.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of April. It's just we weren't prepared for that. It would have been nice if we could have gotten to that one, but we definitely got to get out to a live tournament. I think it's going to a live tournament is basically every hole is like the 16th and the 17th hole at the Waste Management out in Arizona, where the people are just totally insane and bonkers. They have music playing during the match, like DJ music blasting and hip hop and all sorts of crazy stuff.
That's the way it should be.
It should be.
I may take up golf if we can start golfing like that.
Hey, I carry a speaker with me sometimes, and some of the guys I play with ask me not to use it, and some are like, "Oh yeah, could you put on like a Leonard Skinner or something?"
You get the Rodney Dangerfield golf bag?
Say again?
You got the Rodney Dangerfield golf bag?
No, I wish I did. Or John Daly. John Daly used to have a TV on the back of his golf bag that would have paid sponsor ads on it. And when the guy when they'd stop, he'd put the bag down and he'd hold the bag up facing towards the crowd. And he had ads on his TV bags. On his golf bag. It was crazy. Back in the day.
All right, Tom, we appreciate you checking in. I got to go to Luca real fast for his final update here. Luca's got to dip out because coming up right immediately after us tonight is the LaStella report. Robbie LaStella, and Luca's got to get over there and produce that. He's on double duty. So, Steven, let's get the can we do literally a 60-second? You're on the clock here. Luca live. And just give us the highlights, what we care about real fast. Don't ad-lib, no history reports, none of that.
All right.
What's going on?
Cavaliers are up 64-49 against the Orlando Magic.
Yep.
Sixers are up 48-41 against the Knicks in the second quarter, 3 minutes left. And we're going to shift around. We're going to move to baseball. The Twins are up 5-0 against the White Sox right now. The Kansas City Royals are losing to Toronto 3-0. The Atlanta Braves are beating the Marlins 3-0.
That's good.
And then hockey, the Islanders at the end of the first period are up 2-0 against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, they scored 2 goals quick there at the end of that period, huh?
Yep. Pretty quick. I'm just giving you the ones that...
Yeah. Come on.
Short ones, quick ones. So, Bo Haverty scored for the Islanders, and Kyle Permala scored for the Islanders.
Okay.
But there was a fighting situation in the Carolina and New York Islander game. So, that happened. And we are going to do the upcoming games for people to know that at 10 o'clock we have the Laker game against the Nuggets. And as we keep going, we have a lot of MLB games today. We have, let me pull up the games that are in.
Steven, you're getting hard outed in about 20 seconds.
I'm hurrying. We have coming up tonight, the Padres will play the Rockies, the Orioles will play the Angels, the Mets will play the Giants, and that is your sports update.
We'll be right back. Looch on Ice after this.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Jet on it.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, Cosmo, you gonna rock it, right? You gonna do it now, right?
Dude, Rempy was popping last night. Right place, right time for him, huh? In front of the net.
Oh, yeah. You got it, man. Good stuff.
Luch, do you have pull at all? I mean, you know what I needed. I was confused. I said, Luch, no more goals. And I looked at my card. I'm like, no, wait, I need more goals. More goals.
I know. I was like, uh-oh. I was like, what's going on here, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Good. A little bit better after Saturday's game, that's for sure. Or Sunday's game.
Yeah. It was fun, man. I hung in there. I watched that whole thing. I'm vested in here, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I threw out. But no, I threw out a little bit. What play action used to say? Take the over. I took an under on Florida Tampa, and that hit. And then I took the over on the Rangers, and I missed by half a point. So I hold you personally responsible.
Man, yeah. Yeah, that was a good game.
So give us a recap of the weekend and how it went and what you were surprised at, what you weren't, and what's up.
Yeah. So, well, Saturday we had a few games. Saturday there was we had the Hurricanes and the Islanders. That was 3-1. Hurricanes beat the Islanders in that game. Goals from Carolina were Evgeny Kuznetsov, Stefan Nation, and Martin Nashis.
Wasn't that an all girls group in the late 80s? Yeah. Martin Nashis.
Yeah, right. And then the lone goal from the Islanders was Kyle McLean. So the Hurricanes take a one zip lead, and I think they're playing tonight. The Islanders and Hurricane are playing game 2 tonight.
Yeah, Islanders are up 2-0 from last time we checked.
Right.
Let's see.
And then we had the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, which kind of made a wrong prediction on that game, or that series, actually. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to go back on it, but it's just it just looks like Toronto just can't keep up with Boston.
Boston manhandled them in the first game, right?
Yeah.
5-1, I think.
Yeah, 5-1.
And you got a 2-1 right now, Luch, with 3:44 left in the second. Boston's up.
I just don't think they match up good against Boston. Boston's just a good team, a real good team. I don't think Toronto's got it. They just seem like they're just not. They don't match up good. They're just they played flat, and Austin Matthews, their top scorer, just they shut them down. So the only goal from them was David Kempe. So then we had the Rangers and the Capitals. Actually, that was a good one. Rempe gets the first goal of the game, which was unbelievable. It comes around the back of the net and gets a puck that squirts out into the front of the net and scores his goal.
You know what it reminded me of a little bit? It reminded me of Jimmy's game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup Finals, right? Jimmy was right in front of the net like that.
Yeah, 95. That was 95. 1995. Yeah.
We're always working a Jimmed out comment here.
Yeah. So now Rempe's a goal scorer, so you won't see him fighting anymore. He's took the goal scoring route.
So what do you? He had 2 goals during the regular season.
I think he had 1 or 2. Yeah, he might have 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is his first playoff goal. I'm sure they grabbed the puck and kept it for him as his first NHL playoff goal, which is pretty cool. That's good to see. I hope he gets another one. That would be nice. That's gonna give him more ice time too. So, score a goal here and there. They're gonna keep it right in there. And then the other game that we had on Sunday was the Lightning and the Panthers down in Florida. The Florida Panthers beat the Lightning 3-2. Goals by Sam Reinhart for the Florida Panthers, Carter Verhaeghe, and Matthew Tkachuk. The 2 goals for Tampa were Brandon Hagel and Steve Stamkos. You got to expect Stamkos to get a goal, a few goals in the playoffs with his caliber of play. And then we had the late games on the West Coast, Colorado and the Winnipeg Jets. We had that game got ran up. They ran the score up on that game. It was 7-6. The Jets. It was almost like the New York Jets playing, but
I saw that. Except it's just more points than the New York Jets would score.
Yeah. So you got 6 goals in the first period, and then there was another 6 goals in the third period in that game. 3-3 for both teams. So that was pretty wild to see that high of a score in the playoffs, 7-6. Winnipeg Jets win that one. I mean, I could go through all the goal scorers in that game. You had actually, I'll just kind of cut it quick. Adam Lowry had 2 goals for the Jets, and Kyle Connor had 2 goals for the Jets in that game. So that was a pretty good game on Sunday. I didn't get to see that game. The only game I get to watch was the Ranger game. I was kind of out, and then the late games I wasn't going to stay up for. And then you had the Predators and the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks beat the Predators 4-2. Didn't get to see that game. Goal scorers were Brian Zucker for the Predators, Ryan O'Reilly for the Predators. And for the Canucks, you had Elias Lindholm, Pius Suter, and 2 goals from Dakota Joshua at the end of the game. So Canucks scored 3 goals at the end of the in third period in that game to seal the deal, 4-2.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. What's
What
up?
the hell were you doing all weekend? The only game you watched was a Ranger game. That's all you do is sit around and watch hockey 24/7.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot going on this weekend.
Nobody died, did they?
No. Well, yeah.
I'm staying far away from you.
Two years ago, it was actually my anniversary on Sunday, which happens to be the anniversary of my sister passing in 2000 and 2 years ago, 2022. So,
well, I'm sorry about your sister, and congratulations on.
Yeah.
How long you been married? Maybe I got to send my condolences both ways. I don't know.
23 years, man.
Just kidding, buddy. 23. Wow.
23. Yeah. So we ended up going out to a restaurant in Long Branch with my niece, which was her mother, and some other family members, and it's like a little thing that we did. The first year, we throw sunflowers into the ocean because she was a big, she liked sunflowers. She always liked sunflowers, and that was kind of her thing. And we went there and we threw sunflowers into the ocean and just celebrating, her life, So, and then me and my wife hung around and we watched the rest of the Ranger game and sat at the bar and spent too much money.
I had too many drinks?
Yeah, no, not too many drinks. No, my wife had a few, but I didn't. I was driving, so I just had a couple. That was it. That was
I like that, Luch. That's why we hang with you. You're the responsible one out of all of us.
Yeah, yeah, right. Sure.
Don't look to me. If you would have saw looks like Ukraine in here right now. The way with the fit I had earlier in the show tonight when we couldn't get on. We got on 20 minutes late.
Oh.
I shot nuke missiles all over this place. I got broken shit all over. I'll be here cleaning all night. So who? It sounds like Toronto. You may have already flipped the script on anything that you've seen so far with any of these other series or games. I realize it's still very early, but anybody else that you were maybe high on that not so much anymore?
No, I'm liking everybody I picked. I think I picked most of them except for Toronto and Boston. I kind of had a feeling with Boston and Toronto. I was kind of giving Toronto the benefit of the doubt only because of some of the players that they have. But it just doesn't look like they're matching up very good against Boston. So not that I'm. I guess I don't want to flip the script on them, but it looks like Boston's might take them.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really the only one. I mean, everybody else is coming out on top so far from what I picked the other night. I think we have some games going on tonight. First games, maybe.
First, no, it's all second games, right? Because you got.
Let me see. Dallas played
right now. You got the Islanders are up 2-0 on Carolina, just the beginning of the second. Vegas and Dallas tonight.
No. Yeah, you got go ahead. You got Dallas Stars and you got the Kings and Oilers tonight. I think that's game one. Yeah, those are game ones tonight. Golden Knights and the Stars.
Oh, that's a game one?
That's a game one, and you got the Kings and the Oilers game one tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, you know better than me, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick to my guns here and stay with Dallas tonight. Against what I say, what was Dallas ended up playing the Golden Knights. Yeah, when we last talked, these games weren't determined yet.
Yeah,
their opponents weren't determined. So it's Golden Knights, Stars, and Kings and Oilers. So I'm going to stick with Oilers. What did I say? I think I said Oilers in that game, and then Dallas Stars against the Golden Knights.
All right, so listen to I put out an NHL little parlay here tonight, and with the Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights, because I did a little research, because this is all Looch. Go to the site tonight, go to the scoreboard, go to whatever game, Boston, Toronto, and just click on the game. Boom, box scores, play-by-play, all the statistics, everything up there. So I did some homework. I took the over 5.5 in the Vegas Golden Knights Dallas game, and then I took under 5.5 in the Islanders Carolina, and then I went over in Boston Toronto, because Boston has gone over in 6 of their last 10 games, and Toronto I think was right about the same. So I said, you know what? They scored a lot of goals the first time around. If Boston can score just as many, and maybe Toronto chip a couple in,
right?
I'm on easy street.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah.
What the do I know?
No, they sound pretty good, actually. And with Vegas Golden Knights, you got Mark Stone, who's coming back. He's been out for 26 games. He's the captain of the team. The Vegas Golden Knights. He was out with a lacerated spleen.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that sounds a little painful. So he's been out for 26 games. He's coming back. He should be playing tonight. They gave him the okay, and he's ready to rock and roll. He was actually leading the team in points too when he left. He had 53 points, 16 goals, and 37 assists. So tie game in Boston, Joe Quill says. All right. So Toronto's staying in the hunt.
Now, Joe, yeah, it is. Joe, are you seeing that on BleacherBrothers.com up there in this? Whoa, Islanders are up 3-0 now with 14:29 left in the second.
Nice.
They need to slow down on these goals now, bro. They're getting a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
I got under 5.5 on that one. So, how about if real quick, Looch, you and I, let me get let's do an update since Steven's gone real fast here.
Yep.
If we can. All right. So that's not it. All right. Sitting in for Steven Luker, we've got we don't have any update music here. Here we go. All right. Sitting in for Steven Luker is AJ and Looch with your Bleacher Brothers show, final update of the night. We go to the NBA, where Cleveland, who was one of our locks tonight, is up 73-58 over Orlando, 2:20 left in the third quarter. The Knicks have come storming back. They trail Philly by 4 at halftime, 53-49. LA at Denver's a little bit later. We move over to the MLB, where Aaron Boone was a quick spectator today, got tossed in the first. Oakland won that game 2-0. McCutchen set the stage for Pittsburgh. We don't like this one because we have Milwaukee with his leadoff home run. Pittsburgh's up 4-1 over Milwaukee. Philly, 7-0 final over Cincinnati. Detroit leads Tampa Bay 7-1 in the top of the ninth. Atlanta's up 3-0 on Florida, and that is in the bottom of the sixth inning. Toronto's blanking Kansas City in the sixth, 3-0. Top of the fifth inning, Minnesota's up 6-0 over the dreaded Chicago White Sox. Arizona Diamondbacks are up 3-0 on St. Louis in the top of the fifth. And San Diego and Colorado just getting underway, tied 0-0. Baltimore and LA Angels coming up in a little bit. Mets at San Francisco a little bit later on. In the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs, Toronto and Boston are tied at 2 in the second. It looks like maybe the end of the second.
Yep.
Islanders are up 3-0, 12-20. Wow, that's hard to finish this. Now I know what Steven goes against. 12-20 left in the second. And later tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights at the Dallas Stars and the LA Kings at the Edmonton Oilers. And on this day in history, it was a Monday. And that was our update right there. So, Looch, because there's no Thursday for us this week, can you come back Wednesday for a quick hit again?
Yep.
On the updates?
Will do.
And then let me go around the horn real quick. We should thank Coming up next, LaStella Report. Robbie LaStella, I believe Christian, Toby, Drew, the whole crew will be there tonight. Steven will be producing that show. Make sure you set your alarm for Wednesday at noon in the East, 9 a.m. in the West. Gerald White's White Noise. The first African-American NASCAR champion. So I said, what? A NASCAR driver? He said, no, not a driver. He's part of the team. NASCAR champion. But everything that Gerald, I've heard him do so far, has been absolutely phenomenal. He was a great guest tonight. So tomorrow night, we've got, I don't know that I want to announce this whole thing that we got, but we got John Arbesnek coming on to talk some NFL draft as part of our theme. We got Nick the Flick coming in to also talk NFL draft and, of course, boxing. We may have a head coach tomorrow night, also an NFL head coach. We'll see. And then on Wednesday night, we got Bill Perkins' Top Fan Rivalry. We got Jerron Mars, who's going into the draft this week. And, a lot more stuff. So, Looch, rest of the night, you going to go kick back, watch the end of the Islander game, watch the end of the Boston game?
Boston, Toronto, probably.
Okay.
Watch the rest of that. And maybe catch one of the late games.
All right.
Dallas and the Vegas Golden Knights.
And, Luch, you got any action on any of your apps? I know you got the apps rolling here. We got new friends. I forgot to announce. We're new friends. We didn't get to it tonight. DraftKings, an official friend of the show now. Also, Sleeper and Underdog, two brand new friends of the show. More info coming on those a little bit later. But did you put any action in?
Yesterday I did again with the Rangers, but I went for a long shot. I had a whole bunch of one-time goal scorers and the Rangers winning. But I think I had 2 goal scorers that scored. I had Kreider and Artemi Panarin scoring. I had Ovechkin scoring. And I threw like a Lafreniere scoring. I just threw $10 on it to see if I could win a big one, but it didn't pan out for me. Ovechkin didn't come through, and freaking Lafreniere didn't come through.
And who's the guy on the Capitals who this was the first time he never scored a power play goal this year?
Who scored for Capitals?
Unless he did score, I don't know. But somebody. As I was listening, but I was zoning in and out. I was doing some other things, but they were talking about the guy in the Caps who he had a perfect power play record this season, where he scored at least a goal on every game during a power play. I don't know if that sounded like goofy.
TJ Oshie? TJ Oshie? No.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. One quick. Buffalo Sabres hire Lindy Ruff as their head coach. That was, I think, announced today. He coached them from 1997 to 2012, and he's back in Buffalo. He was the New Jersey Devils coach this past season. He was fired from the Devils, and now he's going to be with Buffalo Sabres again. So Lindy Ruff will be coaching the Buffalo Sabres. Should help them out. They got some good players on that team. They should be they haven't made the playoffs in 13 seasons. So the Buffalo Sabres, they tied the Jets with the New York Jets, 13 seasons without them getting the postseason.
Wow. Well, now maybe that's a parlay. Who gets there first? We'll have to see.
Right.
Luch, thanks for jumping in tonight. I know you squeezed it in. We'll see you Wednesday.
Yep.
The Stella Report up next. For Luker and Tom and Luch and Gerald and everybody else, we will see you all tomorrow night, all right?
Damn it, Robin. When does my show start?